What were everyone's thoughts on Chat GPT in the context of digital marketing? And how people are sort of speaking about how they can use Chat GPT to do their digital marketing for them.
Well, they think it's going to replace writers.
Yeah, they think it's the holy grail that's just going to be a one-stop shop and now all your content's sorted.
And the whole problem is I don't think people know how to use it correctly to even create content or execute a strategy with just Chat GPT.
Yeah, but it's being positioned that way. Like it's going to come there and literally build your whole process from start to finish.
It's going to take our jobs.
It's taking our jobs. Absolutely not. Just owning a hammer does make you a builder. You know, you need to understand how to utilize the tool in order to get the job done.
I think it definitely does have value, but I think like anything else, you need to be aware of the shortfalls of the platform in itself. You know, in as much as it gives you that, that human conversation, it's still not able to kind of predict, the spectrum as much as you'd like.
Yeah, exactly. And we've chatted about this before, and we mentioned how if you don't know how to use ChatGPT to write an SEO article, it's not going to give you what you need for your site. It's not going to give you the kind of results you want to see. So,
well, it's probably not going to give you the results anyway because it's full of AI fingerprints.
Yeah.
So as long as it's got that, Google's going to flag it and it's not going to get the ranking that it needs. So that's one of the considerations. It's not going to replace writers. It's going to create more content, which means that, in order to get proper SEO rankings, you're going to have to create a way more content. So clients are in for a big shock. So maybe it's cheaper to produce initially, but we're going to have to create volumes of that content.
Exactly.
I guess you could also run risk of potential plagiarism and copyright issues in the long term.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's still in discussion. Who created it, who owns the rights, and how much of it needs to be modified.
Yeah, I think there is some merit to it, though, especially with short form content, where you can take your long form content and have it give you shorter pieces of content. But again, I think it comes back down to, do you know how to use that? Do you know what kind of short form content you want to be putting out there? Do you know what you should be posting on socials to actually get your business results?
Absolutely. It has its value, but what can you take out of it and utilize to actually put the human touch on? It's even with other AI driven programs like DALL-E 2, it can paint, but does it get human hands right?
Yeah.
No, it's good, but it needs the finesse of a human being.
Yeah.
It's definitely still a long way from being able to operate without any human intervention altogether.
Well, it's not meant to.
Yeah. And I think that leans back to what you said earlier. Having a hammer doesn't make you a builder. I think people need to stop thinking that ChatGPT can do their digital marketing and rather think about it as a tool for their agency or a tool for their marketing departments.
Once they start commercializing, it's also going to become expensive. So these are super expensive because the technology behind it is super expensive to run. So they have to recoup the cost. So eventually we're going to land up in the same boat where you really might as well just brief a copyright.
Yeah.
But I think as an idea generator, it's a great tool.
Educational resource though. If you want to get the ins and outs and how-tos of something very specific, it pulls that information and it can spew out user manuals for you.
Exactly.
That I found really, really great.
AI is definitely going to change how we do things. But the idea of it is really to automate a lot of things that we don't like doing. Or maybe we don't do well. But it's going to change the way that we interact with search engines, the way that we interact with a lot of the platforms. From a digital marketing standpoint, it's not going to define your strategy.
I'm Andile with Firewater. Let's chat.